old do I think you are? This is a trick question. I'm not answering that crap. I'm going to say 21 because I'm not doing this.
You're right. I look like.
I got it. You look like shit.
You're right.
Steroids.
I look like this because of the drugs.
Drugs will do it. Don't do drugs, kids. Drugs are bad. He's 21. You introduce yourself?
I'm Harvey Shapan. I am preparing for the IFBB Pro Masters Mr. World.
You are the oldest IFBB Pro. Is that correct?
In the state.
In the state.
Probably one of the oldest in the country.
That's amazing. So how old are you for real?
81.
Holy shit. Are we allowed to see your physique? Can we get a...
I'm very bashful.
Oh, he's bashful. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's see what we got going on.
It doesn't look very good right now.
I think he's got body dysmorphia, guys.
That was so amazing.
Holy crap. Hold on. You look so good, dude. Check this out. You're 81.
Actually, 3 weeks. August 2nd, I'll be 81.
No way. Dude, you look amazing. You look amazing if you were like years younger. This is proof. Resistance training works. Do it.
I'm a big proponent of being in the gym training. I train 4 days on, 1 day off.
Okay.
And start all over. And I do cardio. I do 5 days a week.
Nice. What kind of cardio do you do?
I've just been doing a lot of the treadmill.
Okay.
And I'm getting ready to start switching over and do the elliptical. I can't do the Stairmaster because I had knee replacement, not to stress it out too.
You know what's funny is I have bad knees and I'm kind of the opposite. So the Stairmaster where my knee injury is doesn't hurt me, but does like on incline and stuff. So I think it is like definitely listening to your body too, right?
I have to. I mean, I had a bad leg since 1971.
Which leg?
Left leg.
Okay.
Had it operated on in 73. The doctor didn't know what he was doing. He didn't follow up and do what he was supposed to do. And it really handicapped me. And I competed in the 80s. And then I came back out of retirement in 2013, competing with a bad leg.
No way.
Yeah.
How hard was it to maintain that balance?
I didn't have balance. I mean, I was winning shows because of my upper body.
Right.
I'm small, but I'm pretty.
I mean, you're a pretty good looking man, so I can see it.
I don't know about that. But
you do have an elegant physique, though. It's very well balanced, so I can see that.
Yeah, that's what I think, too.
Yeah, I mean, you've got great muscle incisions, and yeah. I could totally see why.
But never thought I'd get as far as I did. I won my pro card at the North American in 2019.
Wow. So you competed in Masters and won it that way?
Mm-hmm. I didn't start competing until I was over 40. I joined a gym. I started training. I used to train at 5 o'clock in the morning so I could get to work by 8. And I was training with a guy who was competitive bodybuilder, NPC guy. And he used to just ride me something fierce. He was not a very nice person.
Maybe we use a different term besides ride me something fierce. Maybe he was hard on you?
No. He was an egomaniac.
Oh.
Thought he was the greatest thing in the world, and he made fun of me. And
you want to prove him wrong?
Yeah, I got started. I competed my first time in 1986. Did 86 and 87. I'm a retired attorney. 87, I got an offer from a major downtown Dallas firm to go to work downtown. So I kind of gave up the bodybuilding, stuck to judging, and helped promote the 1986 Mr. America here in Dallas. No intent of working out.
Right.
Training for competition, then got back into it. And now I was much better in my 70s than I was in my 40s.
It is awesome how that happens, though. But sometimes it is just like experience and time and learning your body. And sometimes it just takes time.
Your body changes. And I've been very fortunate because my body, I gained 10 pounds of muscle in that period of time because I was competing in the 150 to 160 range.
Right.
And then I started competing in the 160 to 172. I was 172 when I got my pro card. Okay. Right now I'm 169.
And how tall?
Well, I used to be 5'8" and a half. Now I'm about 5'7".
We're 5'8" and a half guys. We're 5'8" and a half.
Hey, that was a major thing with me. I was very proud of being that big.
Yeah.
Just been competing.
Yeah.
I was doing the Mr. Texas, and a guy came in from California who had about 30 years worth of experience and probably 25 titles. And he freaked out when he saw me. He said, "Have you been to Pittsburgh?" I said, "No, I hadn't even thought about going to Pittsburgh." He says, "You need to go to Pittsburgh. You'll win." I went to the Nationals, over 70 Nationals in 16, placed 5th out of the 13, largest group that had in the over 70s. I mean, they were crazy.
That's a lot of people for over 70s. 13 people. That's a lot. That's not normal.
18, I went back, took 4th out of 9, and then following year, 19, I won the North America.
And I think that's something to take into consideration too for people that are trying to become pro. Yes, there's genetics that play factor in it. Some people just never are going to win. But the people that do become pro, you'll hear this time and time again. They didn't place. They placed a little better next time. And it's years before they really dial in the posing and the symmetry and how to come in on stage and figure out their body and how to come in. It doesn't happen after. You're not going to become pro in your first competition.
I've seen people who do that.
Yeah.
And they're a flash in the pan. They very quickly disappear. I knew when I came back, there was a young lady who won her local show and went up to the Masters and won up there, got her card, and she did her first pro show. She was bikini, and she finished 19th. And that was the end of her. We never saw her again.
Yeah, and I think that does happen. I mean, I guess you're right. Like, it's not impossible to become pro right away, but the people that do kind of luck instead of like a slow build, you're right. They don't fall in love with the sport itself. They might fall in love accidentally to the chasing of the win. And then when you don't win and you're used to winning, it can kind of take the fun out of you.
It just destroys your ego. Yeah. And all of a sudden you think all this work I've done and I've got nothing to show for. Right. And I should have done better.
On my second show, this was back 10 years ago, I was told I was too muscular for bikini. I was told I looked too pro to be on stage with amateurs. And I was very mad. And they were like, lose the muscle, get first here, and then put on the muscle. And it made me lose passion. And now what's funny is I'm competing again because now bikini has caught up to where my muscle was. Mm-hmm. And that's now where the people are competing. You can see what you mean, but they're subjective. I mean, they're constantly changing and it's judging humans. So there is kind of that nuance to the judging.
Well, when the AAU shut down, I had a number of NPC officials offer me the opportunity to judge NPC. Yeah.
And why did you refuse?
Because I didn't like to set the standards. They were always changing. I said no. Right. And I held out. And then he came to me and says, we need an experienced judge. Will you judge for us? And I said, fine.
Yeah.
To do that.
Right.
Because I can't keep up with all these divisions, all the women's divisions.
They have a lot. They have a lot now. They're adding a lot. I think one of the good things about it is it's bringing more people into lifting weights. And like we said,
I agree with you on that.
I think that there are some smaller categories because when you're looking at juicing and the amount of juicing that needs to be done to get to some of these higher categories, it can be really dangerous. So having some smaller categories have more reasonable standards for people is fantastic. But it can be hard to judge that many categories.
What are you going to do? What's your next show?
I'll be doing bikini in December. But yeah, what about you? How far out are you?
7 weeks.
Nice. Well, you look fantastic. I will be watching and seeing how you do.
Getting there. It's kind of discouraging at my age. One day you wake up, you look in the mirror and you say, what am I doing? This is ridiculous. And then the next day you look good. I wake up in the morning, I'm tight. Yeah. By the time I go to bed, I've got overhanging.
I think a lot of that too. I mean, if you look at this gym, it's where you're hanging out. You're not hanging out with 7-year-olds. You're hanging out with a whole bunch of fit people that are young and tight. So you might be mentally comparing yourself to people that are 30 years older without even meaning to.
No, I compare myself to me.
Good. Thank God. Thank God.
Yeah. And I will also look at pictures of the competitors that I'll be up against.
Yeah.
And want to know what I have to do to beat them.
Right.
But I can't come in here and compare myself to Branch.
Why would you? Like that would be so hard.
Well, some of the craziest things in this environment about back in the 80s when I was AAU head judge and running everything, I used to hear from everybody, and I'd laugh. I'd say, I'm going to be the next Arnold. Joe Weider is going to discover me. I'm going to be on the cover of Flex magazine.
Well, and Arnold even himself had some controversies, like the 1980 Olympia. There were some questionable things.
He was terrible.
I didn't say it. I just said controversies.
He didn't deserve it. But, you would hear this nonsense. Everybody thinks they're going to be the next great superstar.
Right.
And in my judging for the AAU, I only saw in men 3 people that had a future.
Well, and there's a genetic component to it as well. Like and I know that my genetics are going to be a limiting factor. And I think a lot of people go in and they're not honest with where they're at. Right. And if you're honest with where you're at, then you can come into it and say like, okay, maybe my genetics aren't there. I have a chance to go pro, but it's less. I'm going to have fun while I do it. And you can be in love with the sport. But there's a genetic component that you can't change what you have.
Well, I'm a perfect example. I do not have the genetics to be where I am. I mean, I'm very small boned. I'm not wide. I don't. I had years without legs until I got my surgery, and now my legs are starting to come up. But here, get my wrist.
Oh,
That's how small I am.
feel my wrist.
You're bigger than me.
I know. I have massive bones. Women, if you say you're big boned, I am actually literally big boned.
I wouldn't go that far.
Well, no, I am though, but it's okay. It's not a bad thing.
You're conditioned.
Yeah.
You look good.
Thank you.
And you present a good package.
Thank you.
You know.
But,
And I say this from a judging standpoint because I've judged 800 contests.
oh, well, I appreciate that.
I mean,
I'm still far away from contest. I like to go nice and slow. So,
well, you have to.
yeah, I've hit menopause early, which lucky me. So I'm on HRT, and I would rather not crash my metabolism. I don't want to crash my body. I want to ease into it because for me it is fun. And if I make it, I make it. But that's not really what it's about. It's about challenging myself and also maintaining health while I do it. It's hard to do.
But you're doing it. You're up for it, and you will do well. What it takes is intelligence, planning your workouts, planning your diets, sticking with the program.
Yeah.
And here, getting back, don't try to be the next Arnold.
No, I'm not going to be, because that would mean I was a transgender, and that would be weird.
No, that's not what I mean. You know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying.
But,
I know. Yeah, don't be Ashley. Like, I got it. Like, you're not comparing yourself to other people. You're constantly, you should be looking at yourself.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yep.
And that's one of the big problems that people do. Look into they used to look into magazines. Now they look at the internet.
Which is every day instead of once a month.
Yeah. And, all they want to do is copy the newest hero.
Right.
And what these people don't understand are two things. One, when I coach somebody or I do a seminar, like they've asked me to do a pro seminar before the Heart of Texas in September. Yeah. And I've done these before, but I tell these guys, and they don't really listen to me because I'm an old man. They want to hear what the hot shots say. You cannot. Everybody comes in here, these young guys, they all want to take drugs and get big immediately. We've had so many deaths of top bodybuilders or people who have dropped out in their 20s because they overdo it with their body and they really screw up their lives.
I'm really a big opponent of compete several times natural first. If you want to compete, I competed natural. I'm still natural except for the HRT. But back when I first started, I was completely natural and I went on to muscular natural. See what your body can do with natural limits before you toss stuff in there.
It's like building a house on a beach.
Yeah.
The waves come in, they wipe away your foundation. Yeah. They don't have a house, and that's what these kids do not understand. So they do what they do, and you see them for 2 years, maybe 3 years. They dedicate their lives to this, and they don't have any money. They don't have a job. They don't have a future, and they to 3 years of their life. And when you see them 2 years later, they look just like they did the day they walked in.
Because they didn't build the foundational skills, and they were dependent. There's the recovery time on enhancements is significantly better, and you're going to have to train significantly different. The amount of volume you can handle when you're on enhancements compared to natural is significantly higher. And the way you can train a muscle group once a week when you're on enhancements, and when you're not, you need to hit it twice a week for your body to respond. And they don't learn how to train natural, so now that they're off, they have no idea how to train their body.
You're absolutely right. Yeah. And they read what the pros do. You can't do what the pros do.
They're on enhancements. Too many. You can't do it.
I'm an IFBB Pro. And when I talk to these guys, I've got a lot of friends who are pros. Yeah. Like Branch Warren and I are very close.
He's really cool.
Yeah, Branch is wonderful. I love Branch. He's my hero. He'll look at me from time to time and say, do a little of this, a little of that. Yeah. But he doesn't tell you to do what he did.
No, that would be dumb. Because every body is different.
Well, yes. Branch is a maniac when he works out. I mean, I've seen him work out here. His training partner is a good friend of mine. Yeah. Still a maniac in the gym. He's wild. A human being can't do or should not be doing what he's doing or what Ronnie did.
Well, and Ronnie's a good example of why you shouldn't go, bless his heart. But, it's also different bodies can handle different things, right? Yeah. So the dedication, but there's also the personality. There's your individual genetic recovery time, your individual ability to have muscles. What are your joints like? What are your limbs like? What are your injuries? I mean, all of that is going to take into account when building a program.
And I see too many of these guys come in here and they go crazy and they hurt themselves.
Oh, well, a lot of them, especially when they're enhanced, are going to be lifting with what their muscles can do, and they haven't given their joints and their tendons,
and they won't. And you hurt your tendons, and you're going to stay hurt.
forever. And that's just such a shame. And I feel like, yeah, Superman is probably the thing that enhanced athletes have to fight against the most. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a book that was published 25, 30 years ago by a bunch of Harvard PhDs and doctors called The Adonis Principle. Okay. Excellent. I've read it and I've got it. I've read it a number of times and I've loaned it out to a lot of wannabes. And it talks about muscle I can't remember say the word.
Dysmorphia?
Yes, yes, and unrealistic. And I recommend that book to anybody who thinks they're going to really be a big star in the gym.
I'm going to go ahead and link that book in the bio down below if you guys want to get it.
People can't achieve their dreams and they're never big enough and they're about themselves. I mean, it's a real problem.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's sad when you look in the mirror, people will look in the mirror and see a smaller physique I have seen opposites though. I've seen some people look in the mirror and think they look a lot better than they do too. But usually kind of the exception to the rule, usually people that are in this world are going to look in the mirror and go, oh, well, tiny, I'm so small. And then more and more gear.
Right. And in that regard, when you get into this, if you're going to do contests and prep for it, don't listen to your husband. Don't listen to your wife. Don't listen to your boyfriend or your girlfriend, your significant other. They're not going to tell you the truth. They're prejudiced. Yeah. You know, they don't have the critical eye to really know what they're looking at. And I see that all the time. Oh man, you look fabulous. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. Well, chances you won't do this or that because when you're on stage with 15 other people,
someone's going to come in better.
Absolutely.
And you might not, if you listen to them, you might not come in conditioned enough. You might not come in lean enough. You might overspill. A lot of things you could do wrong up there.
If you're going to get advice when you're doing contest prep, get it from a neutral who understands the sport. Yep. Who, preferably if you can find an IFBB Pro who will give you a few minutes to help you, do that. But don't listen to your friends or your family because they don't know what they're looking at. Two, they're going to be nice. And I see that. Well, I used to judge shows and people would come up after and say, why didn't I do this? My husband said this or my wife said that. Well, the judges don't see it that way.
Right. They're looking at you from an objective standpoint where your significant others and your friends are going to be looking at you very subjectively. And that's a good thing. You want your significant others and your friends to support you. You want that. And that support does need to be there. And in addition to that support, because, that's going to help you emotionally, you also need to go seek advice from a neutral. And I feel like, that's why I sit here and I say, the becoming an IFBB Pro are pretty slim. And so I had to look at, do I still want to compete? And I do, because I find it fun. If I become one, cool. But that's not why I'm doing it. And so if you have a realistic expectation for what your body can achieve or is most likely going to achieve, then you can determine is a sport for me or not.
Here's another point too about becoming an IFBB Pro. How many cards do they give away now? North American in September, another 150 cards. They just gave away 100 and something cards in Chicago.
So many.
I mean, everybody's getting an IFBB card. Yeah, you're a pro, but can you make money? Yeah. No. Can you really have a career? No. Only a handful of guys and women are capable of making this into a career.
Well, and then you have to ask yourself if that's something you're chasing. Why are you chasing it? Right? Like, what is the point for you? If it's to push yourself, then great. That's fine. But if it's to make a career, you should have the career before you became a pro anyway.
Well, I practiced law for 51 years. I was a senior partner at a major downtown Dallas law firm. I retired 5 years ago. I was general counsel for a significant major corporation, and I never let the bodybuilding interfere with my practice in law and taking care of my family. And people, they just get carried away because they all think that they're going to be a superstar and make money in this.
It's probably not going to happen, guys.
It's not going to happen. I was at another gym for years. That gym's gone now. But I asked the owner, how many pros have you got here? He says, we got 40-something pros. I said, make money. 4.
So 10% of the pros.
Yeah. This is a hobby. Yeah. Have fun doing it. You'll feel better or you'll look good. You'll be happy. Yeah. But don't think you're going to get rich because it doesn't happen.
I think that's another problem with our society is the get rich quick thing. But
not made a penny out of having a pro card. Yeah. My reward has been free T-shirts.
Hey, T-shirts are good too, but they don't pay the bills.
No, they don't pay the bills. I mean, and I could see back in the 80s, telling my wife, well, I'm going to quit practicing law, give up my partnership, be a bodybuilder. Yeah. I mean, she would have left me so quickly. It's ridiculous.
We don't want that. We don't want that.
You don't want that. I've seen what's happened to some guys that are really trying to climb the ladder with this sport, and a lot of them, they can't handle the steroids.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, and you don't know how your body is going to genetically respond to them. Like right. You really don't until you do it.
Well, I will tell you from a personal standpoint, I've seen some guys that.
Editing Jazz here. This next section of my conversation discusses domestic violence and some of the negative side effects of steroid abuse. If this is something that triggers you, I will go ahead and timestamp to when the conversation is over. So I'm just letting you know that I would skip this next section if it triggers you. I'm going to give you 3, 2, 1, and here we go.
Had the possibility of being froze, and I've seen them destroy their relationships with their significant other. I mean,
it can be real. It could not be a physical side. It could be a mental side effect that completely destroys your life.
Well, I'll give you 2 instances, and neither one of them were in the sport anymore. Yeah. I watched one guy who got mad at his wife, threw her on the floor because she did not prepare his tuna fish properly, pushed her down, and made her eat the tuna fish and then remake it. True story. And we were getting ready for a national show, he and I, and we were posing together every night. True story. Secondly, a guy that I used to train with back when I first got started, he had a really pretty girlfriend. She was a nurse, tiny little lady, 5 foot tall, 100 pounds maybe, and he'd go into roid rage because he would do crazy things in the gym, and he'd tear up and just throw her across the gym physically. Those are 2 instances where I've seen something like that happen. Now, neither of them are in the sport anymore. The guy who used to throw his girlfriend across the gym, he kept hurting himself. He dropped out eventually.
Well, thank God.
Yeah, the other guy, because he didn't make it to the top, and the judging and everything else. And coincidentally, I saw his ex-wife a year ago, and she would sit there. She remembered me because I was over at her apartment, and she would tell me real horror stories about how he acted. I mean,
it can destroy a lot, guys. Don't do drugs. Don't do drugs. But anyway, thank you so much.
Oh, hey, it is such a pleasure
to
talk to you.
No, it was fantastic to talk to you. Thank you for letting me interview you. Well, this was a really fun conversation. I appreciate it.
Enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too.